And here's the key point I want to make from my small vantage point here. They had weeks of conversations, and there was not a discussion of polling. There was not a discussion of the horse race and how this would impact the race. These were tear-filled conversations about why kids are getting so diabetic, about why we have such obese children in the United States, about why we have a fertility crisis. Like, this was a true connection of these two men and a true deep bond, which I think you're seeing out there on the campaign trail, that this transcends politics, and Trump wants this to be a generational issue for him. And I just want to say something. I think we're at a big moment here. We're debating trivia. Like, I think the two most existential issues are nuclear war or what's happening to our health. And whatever you think, and I used to be a never Trumper, watching him care about this issue, watching what's happening with the RFK, watching what's happening of how that's resonating with voters, seeing Smalley, from my small vantage point inside, there is tremendous connection of these two men and moral clarity of seeing what's happening. And my question is this, and to anyone kind of considering voting in this election, Trump is going to say stupid shit. He is Trump. We know who he is. There's two important questions to ask. Who sees this corruption and institutional capture that's going to destroy our country, I think, to an existential level? And who is willing to suffer that blowback? Who is willing to go up against these military-industrial complex, the healthcare industrial complex, the education industrial complex that's making us a non-competitive? Like, they are ready. Who is going to appoint? This is a question I have. Who do we believe is going to appoint people like RFK, people like Elon Musk, to stir stuff up? Who is going to do that? Like, that to me is the foundational question. And I do consider this the most important election of my lifetime, watching these two men, because it is so genuine. And there is like a genuine desire to truly transform, to see our broken corruption and institutions for what it is. And really, truly, I think prevent nuclear war and dramatically reverse our health crisis. Trump has said that his one big mistake last time was personnel, was that the pharma and the ag slithered in and gave him the list of names. Everybody should ask, do you think RFK is going to have an influence on those names based on what Trump has said? And I think he is. And I think people like Elon are going to be involved. I think there's this coalition of people that are coming together, and Trump's going to put in power and listen to. And this is a bipartisan issue. And no matter what happens, we have to solve this issue. But I will say this so clearly with the most conviction I can. We will be on the verge, I think, of a health population collapse, societally destabilizing event, unless true executive leadership sees this corruption and this issue for what it is and says we need a radical transformation in how we see agriculture and how we see health, our two largest industries. I think we have to have that. And every single member of Congress I meet with, including Democrats, say that in order for this issue to get done, we need a president to make this the priority, to talk, because that gives us air cover, and there could be transformational change if a president does that. So that's what I've seen from being in this. And I can tell you, President Trump has kept every promise to RFK and deeply cares about this issue.
It also seems like if this isn't done now, they will take steps to make sure it can never be done in the future.
Look what they're saying. Yeah. Look what they're saying about free speech.
Yeah.
Right now. Yeah. You probably covered this. It's just absolutely wild. The free speech comes from the rigging of the scientific research. Bill Gates said this week that we need immediate AI to scour the internet and take any vaccine misinformation out of the internet automatically on any format, any private webpage. This is wild. And he said because the second that virus spreads in people's minds, the damage is done. So his number one use case for AI is to scour the internet and remove any vaccine misinformation from the internet. That is because the largest and fastest growing industry in the country has completely co-opted the most trusted parts of the country. There's no higher level than the NIH, than Harvard Med School. They know that. Harvard Med School is a subsidiary of pharma, just demonstrably. The FDA is 75% funded by pharma. Like this isn't a conspiracy.
And there's a revolving door.
And you've got people like Scott Gottlieb. I think the people like Trump's talking about still thinking he's going to have power. This person that goes straight to Pfizer. And you got him and people like this. And I've met with many of them. This book is amazing. Good energy is amazing. The food, of course, we got to get kids healthier. But we got to work with pharma. We got to work with we got to work with all the stakeholders, insurance companies. We got to be incremental here. There's a war right now between incrementalists and radical change. We are living in a great time, but we have existential threats. And the question before everyone in this very important election is, do we need more incrementality? Or do we need a fundamental rethink of some of our major systems? I really think that's what's before us. And as Casey said, I think we're in a good period of history right now, certainly, but we're facing, I think, more existential threats that I really think we don't fully appreciate.
This is it's such a unique time, and it seems like without a person that's a total outsider like Trump, that's being so attacked. The fact that it's not just that they disagree with him, they attack him, it's that they do it in unison, they do it so coordinated that you realize there is a machine behind this, and that they repeat the same talking points over and it's like they're given a script, and that there's no repercussions for lies. There's, with the Russiagate stuff, with all the various different things that have been concocted to try to take him out, there's no one gets in trouble, and the same people are still disseminating the news. And more people, I think, are aware of that than ever before, and more people aware of this institutional capture.